All right, we started last class and we are actually looking at we did this counter program whereby we look at the increments, the resets, and the decrements. So let me just quickly go through back to the JavaScript. So in the JavaScript, we declare a variable with a counter that we initialize that variable to what? To zero. So that's the zero that you're seeing that is starting from the beginning. So because of our HTML, we are trying to target a an ID. If you look at this HTML here, this HTML, we have ID of value, which is showing this particular zero that you have there. And we have classes of btn, btn, btn. The difference between there is a decrease, a reset, and the what, and the increase. So that's what we declare a variable. So this actually button containers, we use it to target.
Recording is on.
We use it to target all the buttons which belong to the class of btn. All right. So because we want to click on each button, we want an action to occur so that we'll be able to know, okay, oh, this is decrease, this is recess, and this is what increase. So we have to pass in the variable we declare here called button containers for each. This is actually a loop statement. So this one will tell us, okay, we have click on btn decrease, btn increase, and btn what reset. So that's what we'll pass this here. So this you are seeing here inside this for each loop statement is actually a callback function. A callback function is a function without a name. Then inside the function we are having a parameter that we want to use to target each item, which is called what, btn. So this variable that would pass here, which is a parameter, that was what we now say btn.add event listener will listen to a click what event. So on this particular click event, we still pass in another callback function because we want to pass in a statement on individual what button click. So that's why we now came here. I will call a callback function whereby we now passing e. This e is not different from this btn that is here. It's the same thing. Okay, but this e is just a target. This btn is also a target for a button. But I said it's called e because of the event target. Okay, so inside the callback function, we declare a variable called was styles. This is actually a variable, and we also saw that it can become anything. So the e will pass here the current target, all right, the class link. So what this one will show you on your browser, it will declare or print out the class that you've just clicked. So if I'm to print out a console.log, if I to print out a console.log here, then let's say I pass in this styles here, all right. If I inspect my browser, then I click on my cursor. So if I click on this one here, I see that it's telling me that I've clicked on btn what decrease. So that's what this one is actually doing there. So it's telling you that you have clicked a particular button and the action is going to what take place. So that's what this code is doing. So we now store inside variable called what styles. So we now passing a conditional statement so that we know if there is a presence of decrease, so it should what decrease. So we said if styles dot contains, if it contains this particular class of decrease, so we bring our counter to reduce. So counter what minus minus. That's the reduction of what operator. Okay. Else, if the styles dot contain, if it contain increase, increase your counter. That will become what counter plus plus. Remember your counter initially was 0. All right. So you are increasing and you are decreasing it. Otherwise, else counter to be set towards 0, which is going to take our last option, which is the reset. So the counter was now reinitialized to the initial value, which is called 0. So on this part here, we decide to say, okay, when the counter is 0, all right, when the counter is 0, when the counter is greater than 0, it should give us a color of green. When the counter is less than 0, it should give us a color of red. Or when the counter is 0, give us a color of black. So that's why you notice that if I click on this decrease, the color turns to red. If I click on back to reset, the color turns to what? To black. If I click on this increase, the color turns to what? To green. That's what we did here. Then this last line that you're seeing here, value.text content, you can see that in your HTML here, this is where this thing is showing, right? This is where this thing is showing, and the ID is given to be value. So if you look at what we have here, we also declare a variable for our value, const value. We're now passing our query selector The reason why you're seeing this hashtag is because it's now what? ID. It's not a class again. It's ID. So for us to change this thing, this particular value to 0 to wherever the person click, so we now have to pass in the test word content equals to the counter, the value of the counter that you now have. So we actually established in that class that we have other way of doing it, which is the inner text. If I pass it inner text here, I'll see be in a very good shape. So if I click on reset, I click on this, okay, inner text, the spelling is not correct. So I click on this. Are you seeing it? Reset this. So we also said there's another way of doing it again, which is called inner HTML. That's one thing about JavaScript. Inner HTML. So if you still save it, I click on reset, it's still going to change. So do not limit yourself to test content alone. So we are now trying to modify this program. Towards the end of that class, we are having issue with bugs. So we are not trying to modify this particular program to become a counter. A stopwatch. So what do I mean by a stopwatch? Those of you that you are a science student, you know there's something they used to do pendulum in school then in physics. So the thing will just start counting. You have the opportunity to start the watch. You have the opportunity to stop the watch. So you have the opportunity to reset the watch. So that's what we are trying to look at to modify this program. All right. So what I will do now is this. You see this my particular code that I have here. This my main. So I will rename this one. Let's say I will just duplicate it to be like two that you're having, inside here. All right. So let's call this one session. Let's call this part session. So this one is session. So this button now, instead of starts, instead of decrease, let's say this one is start. This one is start. Then this one is reset. This one can still remain reset. Hello. So this one should be called reset. So this one, let's call this one stop. This one should be sorry, this person that just chatting me, I'm busy. So this one is called reset. Then this one should be called stop. Let's call this one stop. So this counter that you have here, let's say this is called a stop clock, a stopwatch. So it's still the same program that we are just modifying it. All right. So I don't have any business with this one. The business that I'm going to be talking to now is this one here. So I want the situation whereby when I click, it's going to take the action of the previous one. So when I click on start, the timer will start running. When I click on reset, the timer will reset. When I click on stop, the timer will what? The timer will stop. So what I'm going to do now, remember this is the value. So this value here, let's call this one so that we separate it from the other one. Let's call it display. Let's just give it a value called what? Display. All right. So the ID, we are giving the ID of display. Then this one, let's give this one a class. Let's one become a class of let's give it a class of, let's say, starts, because let's give it a class of starts. Then let's give one a class of resets. Right. Then let's give one a class of what? Stop. Are you guys with me? Hello. Hello. Hello.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So you notice that when I change the class there, when I change the class up here, it changes here. But let me allow that btn to still be there, because I think that btn is the class that is making it look good. Yeah, so let's this btn still remain there, but what we are targeting is actually the stop. All right, so everything will look fine. Then I think this one they gave it a value, so let's see allow that value. I don't know if I can have two id. Let's see allow that value to be here. All right, I can't have two id of value. So basically now, whatever is the value for my style, so I'll have to go to the css. Let's go to the css and do some modification. So where we have value, let's find the value here, because I want to have that effect. This is the value here, this is the effect that they gave to it. So I will duplicate this. All right, in this case now I will give it something like display, because it's display that I'm now targeting. All right, so now you can see that it's now working like this one, but we have our start, we have our reset, we have our what, our stop. Are we good? Are we good?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so now we are dealing with time. All right, immediately you click to give you your time, minutes, seconds. All right, minutes, seconds, minutes, seconds. So that's what we are actually looking at. So for the beginning, let's go back to the HTML. For the beginning, let's say it's going to be 0 column 0. So it's starting from 0 column 0. Actually, let it be different from this other one that we have here. So let's go back to our JavaScript. A lot of things that we need to do based on what we have learned so far in our previous class. So the first thing we have to do, we have to declare our variables, right? Number one, the start class, the reset class, and the what, the stop class, and even the display what, ID. Do you understand? So let's use our const to get out on const. Uh, let's call it starts. Sorry, let me use small letter. Camel case. Start. Let's say start btn. So start btn equals to is a class that will become document. This is a DOM manipulation dot query selector. So I believe we know why we are using query selector by now. Is there anybody that don't understand why we are using query selector by now? Hello? Is there anyone that don't know why
Hello,
we are
sir.
using query selector by now? Okay, that means everybody is okay, Abby. So we are using query selector because if you look at what we have here, the class is what? Is a class that they gave it. Class of start, class of what, reset, class of what, stop. So that's why I'm actually using what, query selector. So in this case now, I am targeting this start. I actually put this bit here because I want the CSS effect to be there. So is this class that I'm targeting now. So I'm going to call this start dot what, dot starts. So the same thing I will do for the other guy. So let's say this one is a stop btn. So this one should be what, stop. Then the other one is the reset what, btn. So this one should be reset. So this one I should call it reset. What did I call it here? I call it reset. Okay, I called it reset. I called it reset. So this one should be what, reset. All right, so we have succeeded in declaring our variables, right? Our variable for start, our variable for stop, our variable for reset. Okay, then the next thing is to set your timer, is to set your is running function, because uh we said we are looking at it in seconds. Okay, we are looking at it in seconds, so we have to make our variable to start from that word seconds. So the first thing we are going to do, let's declare our timer. Let's say let timer. So presently I just declared this variable. I did not what, initialize it. All right, because I want to use it to navigate from different time, to navigate in my function. So the next thing I'm going to say, let's seconds. I'm going to pass in my seconds variable. So this seconds now, let's say this second is starting from 0. That's the first value. Then we need to declare a boolean. If you look at the introduction to GS, there's something called what boolean. I hope I can let me just comment this one out so that it will not be confusing. Let me comment it out. Yes, so that we know that this is what we are actually dealing with. So I need to set my boolean. So that boolean, that's what boolean that's the boolean I will use to set, because I have a stop. I have a stop, I have a reset. So it means I need to this reset is not well spelled. So it means that I need to set something that will reset it and something that will stop it. So for me to handle that, I will declare a variable called let is what, let's say is running. When the timer is running, let's say is running, let's just do something like this there. So let is running, is that to spell running? Let is running equals to what, false. So what I'm saying in nutshell is that this is actually a boolean. So a boolean is a data type that return a true or a false. So if you want to check it, you can be my guest. So let's check if that, to know that that's a boolean. Let's say console.log console.log JavaScript make use of type of to tell you what a variable is. So I'm going to call inside here, I'm going to call my what is running. If I save this, I refresh, check my cursor, my cursor. So let me inspect. Inspect. I think I need to make this thing to be appearing at the bottom. Yeah, cursor. Are you seeing that this is a bool? It's running is actually what, a boolean. Do you understand? And a boolean is anything that is a true or what, a false. Are you getting it? Why seconds here is a number. Timer here, if you pass in timer here, we just declare we did not initialize it, so you will not see anything. All right, if I pass in timer here and I store it, all right, it's telling you that this is actually defined, but it's not actually what initialized. That's why it's telling you it's undefined. So but if I say is equals to, let's say Fola, if I say is equals to Fola, so what I will have here now, you can see that it's telling me that it's not a string. Do you understand? So that's the data type that they belong to. Okay, so let's just initialize it. So let's not declare anything. Please, is it understood? Is it understood?
No, 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 no. I didn't get it right.
All right, let me come back again. So there's something called data type in JavaScript. Okay, and if you want to know the kind of data type that a variable belongs to, because we said that it's beginning from what, from a variable. All right, so we also said in that previous class that let and const is used to declare a variable, right? But what we now establish that the difference between the const and the let is that when a variable is
Recording has stopped.
declared with const, it cannot be what, redeclared. All right, but when you declare a variable with let, it can what, you can reassign it. It's not redeclared now, you can reassign it to another word, to another value. So let timer is actually that we are saying, okay, we are declaring this timer to exist in our program. The let seconds, now this one is declared and it's also what, initialized. So this one was initialized to become what,
But
0. All right,
okay, but the first one that you said, like line 33, said late timer using declaration.
is that
Recording is on.
let timer, it means that we have declared it and we did not initialize it. Do you understand?
Okay,
You declared and you did
okay,
not initialize. Then let seconds, you declared and you also initialize. Are you getting it? So we are
okay.
initializing it to 0.
Yeah,
So you understand now. So this let
yeah,
is running, is declared, is also initialized to what, false. So what I'm not saying is that this false is here that you are seeing here. It means that this is a what, a boolean data type. Remember we said that when you know what the variable is carrying, it is a data type. So this one,
yeah,
this seconds that you are seeing here, this seconds now that is storing 0, is regarded to a number data type. That's why if I pass seconds here, if I pass seconds here, and I store it, you can see that it's telling you that it's a number. That's this data type, because this is 0 is a number. Do you
Yeah.
understand it? But this one here, that is a false, is a boolean. So boolean is not just false, it can also be true. So let's say I pass in is running inside here, is running, then I turn this on to what, to true. Are you saying that it's still a boolean? All right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a boolean is a what, a true and a what, and a false. So what I'm not saying is
Mm,
that this type of is for you to know what your date, what your variable is carrying, which is what we call what, data type. Do you get it now?
okay. Okay.
So I have to turn this one back to false because I don't want it to run by what, by default. So let's comment this one out now. I hope others are following us. If you have any question,
Mm,
please
no.
always ask, because JavaScript is not your normal programming language. So we have initialized our variables that we are making use of. So we have looked at the button, which is the sets, this thing. Then we also said something that if you want to get something, you want to click a button and you want an action to occur, that previous class we said is called what, event what, listener, right? Isn't it? We said it's called event what, listener. When you click on a button, that's an event listener. Event listener simply means that you, the action that you want to carry out when the button is what, is being clicked, that's what they called the event what, listener. So now, since I've declared my variable, I want to have access to that guy there. So I'm going to say start btn dot add what, I will add an event listener. Okay, I am listening to, then you now pass what you are listening to inside the bracket. I'm listening to what, to a click event, because you click a button. I don't know if you are getting it. Hello? Because you click a button, because you want, when that start is clicked, let the timer begin to read, Abby. That's, yeah, that's a listening word click. So inside there now, we'll pass a function called starts. Let's pass a function here called start. Presently now, this start does not what, exist. Start what, timer. Presently this particular start does not what, exist. So the other one, this one should become what, stop btn. Stop btn, add events listener. Let's call this one stop what, timer. So this is a function. No, presently the function is not existing. All right. Then this one should become what, reset what, btn. I think that's what I have there. Okay, reset btn. So this one now will be what, reset what, timer. Be that should be reset what, timer. Reset timer. So let me turn this on to small letter s. Start timer. It's not compulsory, it's just that I want to follow camel case method. All right, so look at it. This one that you are seeing here, this start btn dot add event listener, I'm looking at click. Okay, I click on start. I want my program, my seconds to start what, counting. I click on stop. I want it to stop what, counting. So because this function does not exist, this function is not existing here. So how do we say we declare a function? Well, we said you use your what, conventional function, which is going to be your function keyword, right? Followed by what, your function name. So my first function name is going to be what, start timer. Start timer. So I'll pass in bracket open and close, then my what, my curly brace. So let's see something. If I say cursor.log, I don't know why today I'm using fola. If I say cursor.log fola, all right, this is a function. Abi, start timer is a function. This is where I pass it inside my words. So look at my cursor. Let me inspect. Be looking at my cursor. So on cut reference, stop timer is not what defined. No problem. I have not defined it, so I have not started using it. So if I click on this, you will see fola start btn. All right, I'm supposed to see for declared inside. Yeah, see for here. But to avoid, so that you not begin to be skeptical about the program, let me remove the error. So this function should be also exist. Stop timer. This one should also exist. Reset what? Timer. So that will not be having error. So this one should be promise. Promise. Then this one should be crispy. So let me start my program. On call error, reset timer. Okay, reset timer problem. So reset timer. All right, so look at my cursor. I click on what? Start. It's telling me that properties for type error cannot read property of not defined style. All right, you know it's coming from this program. Now is what is giving me error. So let me comment this one out also. All right, so program, you must be ready for errors. So I click on this. You see that this is for start for b, reset crespin, because it's on the reset words timer b. Then let's click on this last one, which is stop. I have promise. So it means that this line 37, 38, 39, it's because of the event listener. So anytime I click on this, you'll be seeing Fola. Anytime I click on this, you'll be seeing Crespin. Anytime I click on it, you'll be seeing what? Promise. Question? Question? Can I continue? Hello?
Yeah, just continue for now.
All right. So now we now know that these functions, they does exist. So let me comment all of this out. So now I want to work on my timer. All right, I want to start my timer to start running. Please, you notice that his running was set to what? To false, right? It means that his running is set to what? To not be what? To not be true, isn't it? So I need to make this is running to be what? To be true when the start timer function is what? When the start timer button is what is clicked. Remember, this function, this start timer function, is talking to this button, right? This stop timer function is talking to what? To this particular event listener b. Why this one is talking to the words? This particular word event listener. Do you understand? So I need to use a conditional statement to make that timer to start what? To start running. So if I do something here, let's do something inside here. If, right, conditional statement, if not is running, look at it. If is not is running, okay, if is not is running, what do I want to carry out? All right, I want to set is running to become what? True. If is not is running, set is running to be what? True. Remember, we have declared the variable set is running to be what? True. All right, set is running equals to what? True. So if it is not running, which by default initially is not running, all right, I'm saying set is running to be true, which when the button is not clicked, it was supposed to start running. But don't see anything here yet, because I've not actually called anything to be what? To be done. So if it's running is not set to be true, remember we declared our timer. All right, we declared our timer to be we just declared it here. We did not initialize it. That's in line 33, right? So now let's make use of that timer. So the timer, all right, which you have declared, equals to I used the set interval. The set interval is actually a method that I use to set duration for action to occur based on settings, what? Seconds, based on seconds, milliseconds, or whatever. So I'm going to call that particular method set what? Interval. All right, set interval is a built-in what? Method in JavaScript. All right, we use it for action to occur. So inside this particular set interval, I'm going to call a function, because Please see it this way: anytime you want a statement to be executed, you need to call a function. You need to pass it inside a function, because functional programming is what make you a good programmer. You have to make everything, all your statement that you are passing, that you are talking to your program, you have to pass it inside a what? A function. Because a function is just like a subroutine, a pseudocode, a block of code for action to what? To take place. So I'm going to declare the function inside here. All right, and this type of a place, now you can declare a callback function inside here. All right, the callback function, you can use your arrow function, or you can also use your conventional word function. So if I'm using my arrow function inside here, all right, it means that I need to call my function. All right, this is one part to call my function. The next thing is what? My curly brace open and close. So what I'm going to do inside here, remember we declare a variable called seconds, right? I'll call my seconds plus plus. I believe you know what this plus plus is supposed to do. Is to increment your initialization. My seconds was what? 0, right? So I'm telling you, okay, increase it by what? By 1. Are you there? So I want to show the result now. Please remember I told you that the semicolon is not compulsory. Okay, so if you are seeing it in other JavaScript and they're including it, please don't query me for that. So now I want to now display this result. Remember, what we are using to undo our display is I think I have not declared that. You can see that I have not declared that from here. The display is what is coming from here, Abby. It's coming from here and it's not on my CSS, right? My JavaScript right now. So I need to make that variable also available. So const, so let me call it display, const display. So equals to, is an ID here, right? Is an ID here. So without using get element by ID, what can I use again? Let me just get your, know if you are with me. Without using get element by ID, what can I use again, class?
You can use query selector with hashtag.
With hashtag. So thank you. So that's what I want to use. Document dot query selector. So inside here I'll pass in hashtag. So the hashtag, the value is what I think is display, Abby. Is display that I have here. Display. Okay. So now since I've declared this one now, let's be part of these people here. Since I've declared this one now, I want my result to what? To come up. Okay, I'll pass it inside. That will be display. Okay, remember we said for you to show it on the HTML is either you are using text content or inner text or inner HTML. So text content equals to my words, my seconds. All right, but if I say equals to my seconds, all right, if I say equals to my seconds, it's not that I will be wrong. All right, then inside there, let me pass in the time that is going to change. Let's say 1000. 1000 is 1 seconds. If I click on this button, are you seeing that it's counting? Are you seeing it? Hello? Are you seeing that it's counting? Now,
Yeah, yeah.
it's counting on every 1 seconds. Okay, because of the 1000 that I have here. All right, so let's take it back to normal. So but what I want to bring here, I want to bring in what we called another method that JavaScript has, which they call it what? Format time. So format time will just format your time for you and display how you want it to be. So let's say format, you can see we have format data, we also have format time. So that is format time I'm actually looking for. Format time. Format time. So I'm going to pass this my seconds inside a bracket. So format time, if I click on start, on every 1 seconds. All right, format time, seconds. So now you notice now that when I pass it inside the format time, it's not working. I'm not seeing my results. But when I pass it outside, it was what? It was working and it was counting. So if your own is to write a counter, good. You can be doing something like this. Alright, you can be doing something like this. But let me see the error that was coming out. Let me check what was coming out here. It's always good to see, to check your code if you're having any errors, so that you'll be able to explain what's going on. So he said on cut reference format time is not what? Is not defined. Okay, alright. So this is actually a function, and you know that I have not actually declared this function. I have not made use of this function. So that's why you are saying that it's not working. So now let's go and make this function to be what? To be available. And the logic that I want this function to what? To do for us. So format time is not built in. It's format data that is built in. Format event is also built in. So for that function to be available, I'll use my function keyword. I'll pass in the name of the words of the function, bracket open and close. So now nothing is going on here, but if I click on this now, you won't see any error and it will not work. Are you seeing it now? You won't see any error, but it's not working. The reason why you are seeing that is turning everything to be empty is because my function is actually what? Empty. Please, are you guys getting it at all? Hello?
Come again, come again.
Okay. So this format time, okay, this format time that you are seeing here is actually a function. The way I want my timer to work, that's what I want to do. All right, you can see that I'm passing the seconds inside it. Okay, the seconds that is counted, that is incrementing from my what? From my code. So this format time now, this function now, you know it was flagging error before when this thing was not declared, right? But when I now declare this thing now, your cursor.log on your terminal is not flagging error again, but it's telling you that when you click on it, it's clearing what you have here. The reason why it's clearing is because your timer, this function is empty. So if I come here and say console.log, let's see, I pass in something like promise inside here. Console.log, I pass in something like promise inside here. Look at what's going to happen now. I click on this, you see promise here, right? So if I come here and I said we've declared our variable there already, Abby, let's say, and I said display.test content. Let's say display because our display.test what? Test content. Alright, equals to, let's say, Fola. Display.test content equals to Fola. So what we display there, immediately this guy is clicked. Alright, you're supposed to see Fola coming up on, look at it here. Fola is showing up here, right? But I want Fola to show on the environment. So let me remove this one inside the cursor.log. I'll drop it inside here, drop it outside here. If I store this program and I click start, so the display.test content Fola is showing here, but it's not showing there. What's going on? So you're having Fola 3 times. So display.test content, I hope the display is okay here. To display.test content Fola. Boy, so I see what's going on now. So what's going on now is the display.test content is here. I'm also showing it what here. So you can't repeat something like this twice. So that's what is causing that particular word error. The only thing that I can do is for me to just call this function directly here, right? Call this function directly here. So if I call this function, I'm trying to break it down for you so that it will not be something difficult. So this function is called directly here. When I click now, are you seeing that I see I have Fola now? Are you guys with me? So if I come here and turn this Fola to something like promise, promise. So I turn it to promise, and I click on this, are you seeing? You are seeing promise here. Are you there? Because this function, I trigger it directly. The initial error that you are seeing, because I'm calling test content twice. This format time is a test content. I'm still calling it test content again. Is that okay?
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
All right. So now I now want to set my how I want my timer to work. I want to do my formatting. Remember I said we want to get minutes, we also want to get what? Seconds, right? I want to get minutes, I want to get what? Seconds. We know that 60 seconds make a minute, isn't it? 60 minutes make an hour. So maybe if you want to modify the program later, you can add hour to it. But let's use seconds and what? And minutes. So what I will do here now, I will declare a variable const. I'll pass in minutes inside here. A variable const, I'll pass in minutes. So this minutes is a variable, it's not compulsory that it must be minute too. Okay, so that you not say why is it minutes. So now I am looking at the seconds where when we say 60 seconds equals to what? 1 minute. It means that if I divide my counter by 60, all right, if I divide my counter by 60, I hope you know that I will be getting a decimal value. Let me do that for you. Let's say seconds divide by what? 60. All right, seconds divide by what? 60. So let's now come here. Let me say console.log. Okay, console.log. I have what? Minutes, Abby, because that variable there is minutes. I have minutes here. See something. Let's show you my cursor. So if you click on start, click on start. What are you seeing? Are you seeing that it's generating because it has started? Are you getting it now? It's generating numbers in every words, in every 1 seconds, because that's what we have here. Okay, 1000 is 1 second, 2000 is 2 seconds, 5000 is 5 seconds. Are you getting it? So that's what is going on here. Now, from what we have done in the color flipper program, we said for you not to have access to, you don't want to have business with the word with the decimal numbers, you just want the number before the integer. We establish a point in that class that we use what? Math dot what? Dot floor. Can you remember? Math dot what? Dot floor. So if I use math dot floor, I pass this inside here like this. Let's see, I pass this inside here. If you check my terminal again, my cursor, if you check my cursor again, let's say I click on this, click 0 0. So what's going on here is that he's showing you, because when it was not floored, it was 0 dot 0 dot something, one kind long string, right? So now this one is just bringing out only the word. We're having access to only the word, the 0. Are you with me? We're having access to only 0. So that 0 that we have now, all right, we now declared a variable, all right, that is going to give us that value in seconds. So remember, to declare a variable, let's use sex, let's call it sex, equals to the seconds, all right, the seconds that you have, modulus. Please, I think on the JavaScript operator, percentage, all right, symbol is actually used to represent a modulus. I will explain that now. Okay, so don't be scared. So let's see what this modulus is doing. All right, if I say console.log, I pass in that variable here called what? Sex. So what modulus does is that modulus only prints out the word, the remainder. All right, modulus will only give you what? The remainder. Let's see something. Console 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So what is going on is that, you know, these seconds, hello, these seconds we have, right, is we increment it with what? plus plus abi by 1. So what is now going on there now is that, and we have divided these same seconds by what? By 60. So we are calling these same seconds that we have here, okay, modulus what? 60. So what this one is doing is that it's telling you that 1 divide for the first one, 1 divide by 60 is 0 point something. Are you there? Is 0 point something. Is not, modulus is not printing out the 0, it's printing out the remainder. Oh, are we okay? Hello? Hello? Are you guys with me?
Hello, sir. This one is somewhat difficult.
Is there?
See, this one is somewhat difficult, sir. We're going to go to the video.
Okay. All right, let me just do something so that you understand. Let's say I will remove it. Let's say s is equals to 5, right? Then I say y is equals to, let's say, 10. So let's now say cursor dot log. I think you understand with this. I say cursor dot log, cursor dot log. So our group, so x modulus y. I think you understand by this. So this one now, s divided by 10. 5 divided by 10 is what? Let me ask you first. 5 divided by 10 is what? Fola, are you in this class?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Okay. 5 divided by 10 is what? That's 0 point what?
0.2.
0 0.2. Alright. That's all you understand. So let me make this thing so that we'll see the results. Everything will be glary to us, so that it don't look like, say, somebody is doing magic. So somebody said it's 0 0.2, right? Okay. So let's see our cursor. All the action will be happening in our cursor. Please permit me to comment this one now because it will be counting. I click on this. So somebody said it's 0 point what? Please forget about that one that is counting. No, we are just talking about this first one, this one, and this other one. So we don't have business, basically now we don't have business with this one that is counting for now. All right. So let's say 5 divided by 10 is actually 0 0.5, Abi, from your calculator, isn't it? Hello?
Yes,
It's
0.5.
actually 0 0.5 from your calculator. So you notice that the other
Yeah,
one,
0.5.
the other one is actually a modulus operator.
0.5.
You are seeing is bringing out just 5. So what modulus does is that modulus prints out the remainder. It does not have business with the what, with the value before the decimal point. It just goes straight to the what, to the remainder. So the remainder here now is 5. That's why you are seeing that this second one is giving you what? It's giving you 5. But this one that you are seeing here is actually the timer that is counting and is bringing out his what, his values. I don't know. Is it understood? Is it understood? So or maybe you go through the video later, Abby.
Yes, I go to the video.
Yeah, we go to the video.
So let's continue what we are doing. Please give me just 1 minute. Let me on join. They've taken light. Just give me 1 minute, please. All right, I'm back. Please, thank you for that. um, so now we are still talking to this our mm, this format time function. All right, this is what we are actually still dealing with. So this is my sex. Now I've gotten my sex. All right, so I will now return all of this. I will return all of this together. So now I have minutes, I have sex, sex I'm using it to mean seconds. Okay, so I'll return them. A return statement is actually telling you that you are leaving what, a function, and you are displaying a what, a result. You are leaving a function and you are displaying a what, a result. So what I'm going to use to display my results on the HTML, I'm going to use what we call the what is it called now? Are you with me? What we call the um what is template string. So template strings is the key on your keyboard before your exclamation. This is the symbol for template string. So what template string does is this: you are writing into HTML. You are writing HTML in JavaScript. All right, that's what template string what does for you. So now I want to get, if I want to write this now, I'm going to call my dollar symbol a curly brace. A curly brace is now what I want to use to what I want to write. So first I want it to be strong, which is the HTML property or element. I'm calling minutes, variable that we have declared up there. Then the next thing that I'm going to call again, all right, I need to, so this is my string, my template string, a curly brace. So this one strong, I'm looking at minutes. So that minutes dots, I'm padding the word pad starts. Okay, pad word starts. So that's what I'm setting to be what, to be the starts. So I'm looking at, give me two decimal with what, starting from what, from 0. Then column. So what is the column doing now? Column is this other one that I want to what, to work. So which is going to be for the what, for the seconds. So the same thing is going to come up here. My dollar symbol, my curly brace, I also make it to be strong. Okay, I hope this one started there. This is supposed to close. So yeah, this starts, this one is going to be here. So strong. I first of all need to get my dollar, yes. Then what I want to pass there is going to be what, sex, which we use to represent what, seconds. So I'm going to call the pad what, start again. Pad starts. So pad starts 2 with what, with 0. So this one that you are seeing, these two that you are seeing is mean 2 decimal points. Okay, that's what this one means. 2 decimal what, 2 decimal points. So if you run this program, I click on start. So there's an error somewhere. So let me see where the error is coming from. So the error is a strong is not what, is not defined. Strong is not what, defined. So no problem. So what I'm going to do now is this. So what I'm going to do to correct this, let's say I go into the variable direct, the minutes. So let me just remove this strong here. On cut error, minute.path.start is not a what, is not a function. Comment this one out. See what's going on here. So let me just do something here. Let me just return. I'll just merge these things together. Sex, all right. Return sex column minutes. Sex column what? Minutes. Return. My return statement is not correct. Return sex, right, plus minutes. Let me just see what this thing is going to give me. Sex. Let's see. So, all right, my seconds and my minute is actually what is actually counting. But what I want to achieve is it's only the seconds that is actually counting now. It's not showing minutes. But let me see if I can put an empty string. An empty string. Then this guy will not join this one here. Yep. So you see that when it will count to 60, this one will turn to 1. So let's make it. Please, are you guys following me at all? This one should come here. This one should be minutes. Why this one should be what? Sex. Hello? Are we still together? Where is Fola? Hello? Please, if you can hear me, can you speak out?
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Alright. So,
I can hear you, sir.
minutes. So when I click on start, so when this thing read to 60, this one should change. So let me pass in this guy here so that it will make sense. I click on start. So this is seconds and this is what? Minutes. But I can't wait for it to read to it. So why this one is loaded? Let's go back. Now we can see that our start is working, Abby. But you notice that your stop is not working. Your reset is not what? Your reset is also not working. So how do you make the stop to work and the reset to also what? The reset to also work. Sorry. So you remember we have to go back to this particular word function, right? This stop. It is not easy for me to stop it. What I just need to stop, I just need to what? To set my is running to what? To false. Just set my is running to what? Back to what? To false. So it means that you should stop running. Okay. Then I need to clear my what? My interval. So there is a method in JavaScript that is called clear interval. So clear interval now is my what? Is my timer that is doing the what? What's my timer doing now? My timer is the one that is responsible for this. Are you seeing it? This function here is my timer that is doing it. So if I start, reset is still not working. It's running. Sorry, stop is stop. Are you seeing it? Start, stop, start. I've not done resets. So I want you guys to see when it will lead to, when it got to 60, that one should change to 1. The 0 should turn to 1. Then it will continue. Are you seeing it? Hello? So
Yeah.
this kind of a program is a program that is used to, let's say, in a church where they allocate time to people. All right, they allocate time to people. You can actually write a program like this that they can use to time themselves. So now let's now talk to this reset. All right, this reset should go back to what? Everything should be turned to what? To zero. That's the meaning of reset, Abby. So first thing, I'll first of all call my stop timer function. Where is it? Where is it? Stop. Yeah, I'll first of all call my stop timer function. So my stop timer function is one that will stop it, isn't it? Then let's say this thing is running, start, reset. Reset now is what? Is pausing it a bit, but I want it to clear. I also want it to clear everything, to turn everything to what? To become zero. So I will just set my seconds. My seconds will be set to be what? To be zero. What do I have here? I think it's zero. Yep. Is 0 comma 0. So look at it too. When you're having column here, this is actually a column. It cannot work like that. It's a string that will recognize it. So I've set it to what? To be 0. Let's say this thing is working. Stop. All right. Stop. Starts. None. Okay. So now for this thing to now show on my screen, I need to call my display. I've not called it outside, you are not seeing it. Display dot text content. Display dot text content equals to my format what? Time. That's the function, right? Format time. Then I'll call the what? The seconds. So let's run it again. Start. Stop. Reset. Now, why is it showing none, 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 none? Why is it showing none and none? It's showing none and none, all right? Because you are calling a string. You are calling a string. This is supposed to be what? Integer. So let me see if I can just tweak the code. Pass string. We have pass string to convert item to what? To string. Password string. So pass int, sorry. I'm converting this logic here to what? To integer back. So let's see what will happen again. Start. Stop. Are you seeing it now? Am I in a good shape or not? Start. Stop. Reset. Start. Stop. Reset. Question time. Question time.
So I have a question.
Okay.
So if you press start, stop, and start again, will it continue?
Yes, now. Start. Stop. Start now. We continue reading. Are you seeing it? From where you stop it. Start again. Stop. But the reset will turn it to 0. Are you good?
Yes, sir. So, but the thing does not have hour, right? So if you count to 60 minutes,
Yes.
if I will
So
to continue from 60 minutes to
so
continue.
now, yeah, it doesn't have hour. This is just minutes. That's a good question. So remember when it starts, this one lead to what? To 60, right? This one turn to 1. So we need to look for a way to make this one reach to what? To 60. That we have 1. So that will be seconds. That will be minutes, seconds, and what? Hour. Do you understand? So the logic is just simple here. The logic is just simple here. How do you convert seconds to hour? So how do you convert minute to hour? That's 60 minutes give you what? 1 hour, right? Hello, Crespin. 60
Yes, sir. Yes,
minutes
sir.
give you 1 hour, isn't it? 60
Yes, sir.
minutes equals to 1 hour. So it means that for me to get hour, I need to multiply seconds, minutes together to get what? Hour, Abi? So I can come in here and I say const, you're the one that brought it to, const r equals to uh, my minutes, right? My minutes times what? My what? My seconds, isn't it? My seconds, which is sex. Yes. Okay, ma. Thank you, ma. Please, oh, let me go and off the generator, please. Am I being you see me, oh? Hello? 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 Please, can you hear me?
Can hear you. Yes, yes.
Yes,
Alright,
sir.
don't worry, I will still be rounding up now, okay? Sorry for that. We just have to maximize the the system. So now I have I have a minute now. My minute times seconds will give me hour, right? So for me to see this result coming out here, return hour